In one hand, I'm holding OPPO's latest mid-range gem, the Reno12 Pro, and in the other, I've got Samsung's top-tier powerhouse, the Galaxy S24 Ultra. The price gap is wild. The OPPO Reno12 Pro is starting at just under 600 euros in Europe, while the Galaxy S24 Ultra sets you back a hefty 1,300 bucks. It's gonna be an interesting comparison, because despite the massive price difference, these two phones have one major similarity. AI is their main selling point here. Back at the start of this year, Samsung made their Unpacked event all about their new Galaxy AI features packed into their S24 lineup. And now, OPPO did the same thing with their newest Reno series, and they managed to cut the price in half. So let's dive in, find out what each phone brings to the table, and figure out which is the better choice for you. Also, just a heads up, OPPO did sponsor this video, but I'm keeping it real with my honest opinions here, so don't worry, this comparison is still fully unbiased. Let's start by talking about all the new AI features that came with the Reno12 Pro and see if they're actually useful. Most of these, by the way, aren't even found within the Samsung S24 lineup, and surprisingly, OPPO did a really great job of integrating them into ColorOS and making them easily accessible throughout most of the OS and certain apps. Some of them even use Google's latest Gemini model, so you can trust the results. The first AI feature I've been using non-stop is whenever I browse the web. Whenever I see an interesting article but don't have the time to read it all, I just swipe from the top edge to open the smart sidebar and tap on AI Summary for a quick overview. Huge time saver. And if my hands are busy because I'm heading out for a drive or I need to do some chores, I can tap on AI Speak in that same sidebar to have the article read out loud.
Reddit blocks AI bots from crawling its website.
It's super handy. Unfortunately, the only downside is that these tools don't work with every browser, but they still support some of the most popular ones and some new ones as seen on the screen. Samsung, on the other hand, doesn't support any universal tools like this for whenever you use other browsers. Although within their own Samsung internet browser, they do provide something similar called Browsing Assist. Along with letting you summarize any page, it also lets you translate it into another language, which is pretty useful if you're bilingual. But again, these tools are only available for Samsung Internet and not any other third-party browser. Another exclusive AI feature that I've been using on the Reno12 Pro is that when I need to write something out, whether it be an email, tweet, Reddit post, Instagram message, etc., I can once again swipe in that smart sidebar, select AI Writer, type in a small description of what I'm looking for, select the tone, and once I hit generate, it will scan the app to figure out the writing format and provide me with an accurate response of what I want to say. From there, I can easily copy and paste it into the text field or just generate another response. Plus, I even love that it's able to match the writing style with whatever app I'm using. For instance, if I'm in Gmail, it formats the response like an email. If I'm on Twitter, it adds hashtags. It's perfect for those times when writer blocks hits. The Galaxy S24 Ultra doesn't have anything quite like this integrated into the OS. I mean, they do have a chat assist feature found within the Samsung keyboard that uses AI to tweak your writing style or improve your grammar, but it won't generate new responses from scratch. And of course, you can link the power button to open up a third-party app like Gemini or ChatGPT, and then have the AI write your message. But I do love the convenience of not needing to hop into another app just to have it write something out. And it already knows the context of what app I'm using, so it styles that message in that format. When using the voice recorder app to record long meetings, interviews, or class sessions, I love how the Reno12 Pro is now able to summarize my recordings so that I don't need to listen to everything at once. Saves me a ton of time. Plus, these recordings don't need to be in English to be summarized. They also support Chinese, Hindi, and more languages will be supported soon. What's even better is that you can export these summaries to the Notes app, where certain info such as the to-do list, time, and location will be highlighted and formatted to make it easy to read. Samsung's voice recorder app also does the same thing, letting you summarize any recordings you've made. Plus, it even lets you transcribe the voice recording and translate it into a different language, which is pretty awesome. Something that OPPO can't do. The Reno12 Pro also comes with a handy new app called AI Studio, which uses AI to let you easily generate fantastic looking portrait shots of yourself in a ton of different styles. So if you're looking to make your profile picture look a lot more professional, maybe for a job listing or your LinkedIn, you can easily do so by putting yourself in a suit. Or if you want to make it look like you're a character from a movie, visited an extravagant place, or just use it to make your friends laugh, it can do that. All from a single photo that you uploaded, which is a first since other AI apps require you to continuously upload a photo of yourself to generate multiple portraits. On the Reno12 Pro, you just upload it once and you can continuously use that shot over and over again on other templates. What's even cooler is that you can create group photos and include your friends in these AI generated portrait shots. They don't even need to be next to you, since you can share them a link so that they can also upload their picture from wherever they are and whatever device they're using. And after a minute or two of both parties uploading their shots, it'll generate the portrait. That's also a first. On Samsung, they don't have any way to create AI portrait shots. I mean, you are able to turn yourself into an emoji within their AR emoji app, but doesn't really do a good job of making it look like you, and that's pretty much it. And when it comes to photos, the Reno12 Pro also supports some pretty awesome AI features that I loved using. For example, whenever I take a photo and I want to remove random people or objects in the shot, I can use the AI Eraser 2.0 tool found within the photo editor. It can automatically recognize all the people in the background and let me remove them with one tap. Or if I like to get more detailed, I can circle or scribble over any object to erase them. Now, Samsung phones have also had a feature just like this for years. It's called Object Eraser, but it doesn't work as well as OPPO's AI Eraser tool. On the Reno12 Pros, it's able to recognize people instantly and remove them with one tap. Apparently, OPPO even claims that they've managed to increase their target recognition to 98%. Samsung doesn't even provide an automatic recognition feature. Plus, OPPO claims that they also reduced the uncontrollable generation ratio from the industry average of 20 to 30% down to just 10. On top of that, OPPO introduced some other new AI features that can improve photos within the Reno12 Pro. For example, when taking group selfies of at least 3 or more people, there is now a new feature called AI Clearface, which lets you enhance the clarity of each face in that shot. So if some people are farther in the background and their face gets smoothened or slightly blurred, then you can tap on this icon in the top right corner of the photo and it'll automatically enhance the facial details with 8K level clarity. It works with up to 10 people in the shot too, and it does a relatively good job. Samsung phones also have something similar called Remaster, and it also automatically sharpens blurry parts of the image, brightens up dark areas, corrects colors, and reduces noise. And even though this next feature isn't available yet, OPPO claims that they're working on another photo AI tool called Best Face, which will rescue anyone in a group photo who accidentally blinked at the worst time. Again, this is something that Samsung doesn't support. When it comes to connectivity and phone calls, the Reno12 Pro also provides some useful AI features. With a new technology called AI Link Boost Communications, the Reno12 Pro can enhance connectivity even further so that if you're in a busy network or in an area with a weak signal, you may still be able to make phone calls or browse the web. Plus, when you're on a call within the phone app, Instagram, Google Meet, or Messenger, you can now enable a new feature found within the settings called Clear Voice to instantly filter out background noise. It works pretty well when you're within a loud city or there's strong winds around you. The S24 series also has a similar feature called Voice Focus. While you're on a phone call or some voice chat app, you can just open the quick settings, tap on mic mode, and change it to Voice Focus to remove any background noise. And those are all the new AI features introduced within the OPPO Reno12 Pro, many of which the Galaxy S24 Ultra doesn't even support. If we flip the script though, you'll find that the S24 also has a few unique AI features of its own. The one that I find most helpful is Circle to Search. I mean, it's just so easy. I can long press on the navbar, draw or scribble over the object or text I like to learn more about, and it'll Google search it. At the end of the day though, it's really just using Google Lens. So you can do the same thing on the Reno12 Pro if you download the app, But the fact that you can access this feature a lot more easily without needing to jump into an app is a huge plus. And it's the only non-Pixel device to support this feature. The S24 also supports Google's generative AI wallpaper feature. So just like on the Google Pixels, you can have One UI generate some never before seen wallpapers. And it works the same exact way with the same themes and category choices. Samsung also uses AI to make it easier to communicate with others who speak a different language. For example, when you're on the phone, you can now use a feature called Live Translate to get a live translation and transcription of what the other person is saying in your language. Or within the quick settings, there's a tile called Interpreter, which lets you easily conversate with anyone who speaks a different language. Super handy if you tend to travel a lot. Unfortunately, the Reno12 Pro doesn't support any of these AI translation or transcription features. When editing a photo on the S24 Ultra, I can also use this tool called Photo Assist to resize and move any objects or people around. It's just like Magic Editor on the Pixels, and I found that it didn't seem to work as well as Google's version, but it's still a great feature to have and something that I also wish the Reno12 Pro had. Finally, there are also some other AI goodies sprinkled within some of Samsung's apps. For example, within the Notes app, they have Notes Assist, which lets you easily organize and improve your notes. It'll auto-format them, summarize them, translate, improve the grammar, generate covers, and more. And that's pretty much it for all the AI features found within the Galaxy S24 Ultra. There aren't as many as the OPPO Reno12 Pro, and to be honest, I enjoy how ColorOS makes its AI features a lot easier to access within different apps. On the S24, it seems that Samsung has really only made their AI features accessible on their apps, and not third-party ones, which is unfortunate because not everyone is a Samsung fanboy, and not everyone is an OPPO fanboy, so it's nice that OPPO took the time to make their AI summarization and writing tools be easily accessible within other popular third-party apps, and not just their own. Or even be able to generate AI portraits with your friends who may not have an OPPO phone to begin with. And surprisingly, even outside of AI, OPPO included some interesting new goodies within the Reno12 Pro. For instance, there's a new tool called Beacon Link, which basically allows the phone to communicate with other devices over Bluetooth at a distance of up to 200 meters, or for us Americans, 656 feet. So you can theoretically make voice calls while you're on an airplane that is just about to land, or in an extremely crowded event where the signal is weak. The only downside is that the other person also needs to have an OPPO phone for this feature to work. Still, in the slightest chance that this does occur, this would be the ultimate flex. Samsung doesn't provide anything like this. They've also innovated the NFC hardware by no longer requiring the Reno12 Pro to be precisely aligned when it's near an NFC reader. That by itself is crazy to think about because NFC technology has been on smartphones since pretty much the beginning. And now that you can simply hold your phone up to the reader in any direction, it's super convenient for when you're paying for something at the grocery store, using a bus pass, and more. When listening to music, it also lets you increase the volume from 100% to 300%, turning it into a mini speaker. It's super handy if you're in a really loud place or just want to blast your favorite songs, though the distortions can get pretty bad. On top of that, it comes with an audio spatialization feature called Hollow Audio. It lets you listen to multiple audio sources through your headphones without them interfering with each other. Imagine listening to music, getting Google Maps directions, and taking a phone call all at once, with each sound coming from a different direction. It's pretty creative. So even though the Reno12 Pro isn't even OPPO's top of the line device, it's super refreshing to see them put a lot of awesome new bells and whistles inside of it. Most OEMs don't put half the effort into their cheaper devices, and only really innovate within their top of the line flagships. Samsung is a good example of this, usually leaving its newest innovations to its Galaxy S lineup, and leaving the Galaxy A series with cut corners and basic One UI features that its more expensive brothers have already had. Nothing wrong with that though, but it's pretty dope to see OPPO take this new approach with one of their cheaper devices. And we're not even mentioning the design of the Reno12 Pro. This thing, it looks marvelous, especially the Nebula Silver model. The blend of silver and violet colors is striking, and the textured waves under different lighting are a really nice touch. It has an all-round armor architecture with a high-strength alloy framework, strong Gorilla Glass, and sponge bionic cushioning for impact resistance. It's also water resistant with an IP65 rating, but it's a fingerprint magnet. The Galaxy S24 Ultra with its titanium body feels more premium, and it's slightly more resilient against fingerprints. It's also more durable and has a better water resistance rating of IP68. And it also comes with an S Pen, which is fantastic for taking notes, drawing, and precise navigation, making it a versatile tool for both productivity and creativity. It's the only phone out there that still includes this, which that on its own may sway a few people to get it. But in terms of looks, I find the Reno12 Pro more attractive. It's also more comfortable to hold with its rounded corners compared to the Ultra's sharp edges and larger size. The S24 Ultra also has a better display than the Reno12 Pro with higher resolution, larger size, double the brightness, an LTPO dynamic panel, and stronger Gorilla Glass. It's tough to beat Samsung here since their screens are the best in the game, and of course the price tag is a lot higher here. However, even though it's not better, the Reno screen is still really great, especially at half the price. It's super large at 6.7 inches, uses the toughest screen out of any Reno phone, has a 120Hz refresh rate, and has a new infinite view screen design that ever so slightly curves at the edges to provide better grip and reduce accidental touches. To top it off, the phone supports Splash Touch, which allows you to use the phone even when there are water droplets on the screen. It's perfect for showers or when you're at the pool. Samsung also doesn't support this. For the cameras, both phones have a wide, telephoto, and ultra-wide lens, but the S24 Ultra also does come with an extra periscope telephoto lens. When it came to daylight shots, both phones did really well, providing a good amount of detail, fantastic colors, good shadowing, and contrast. There were a few occasions when the Reno did overexpose a bit, but overall I'm very pleased with the results. I even love taking selfies on both devices, cause unlike other competitors, these had fantastic front cameras. When zooming in from afar, Samsung did do a better job. Those 3x and 5x optical zooms are hard to compete with. So the Galaxy S24's cameras are a lot more reliable no matter what the setting is. But I am still pretty satisfied with the cameras on the OPPO Reno12 Pro. As for the battery life, they were both great and even had the same capacity of 5,000 mAh. With this, I've been able to comfortably get a full day of heavy use out of both phones. However, I did find the OPPO to provide slightly better battery life, and it's most likely due to the lower resolution screen. The real difference though comes when you charge the devices. The Reno12 Pro supports 80-watt fast charging, so it can charge from 1 to 100% in just 46 minutes. On Samsung, you get half the charging speed of up to 45 watts, which honestly, it isn't that bad. And it also supports 15-watt wireless charging and 4.5-watt reverse wireless charging. So overall, battery life and charging speeds on both devices are great. But the OPPO phone did do a slightly better job here. As for the performance, it's no surprise that the S24 Ultra took the crown here. I mean, it's packing a way more powerful chipset, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, and obviously it's able to include that because it costs more. It loads apps faster, and lets you do more power-intensive tasks without any hiccups. Still, for everyday casual use, including swiping through social media, answering emails, browsing the web, and more, the Reno12 Pro was able to breeze on through. So, in terms of overall performance, the Galaxy S24 Ultra is the better choice here, but if you're not usually doing heavy tasks or playing heavy 3D graphic games, the Reno12 Pro should be just fine. When it comes to software, both phones are going to provide you with a spectacular experience. They're each running their own skin on top of the latest Android 14 update. The Galaxy S24 is running One UI 6.1, while the Reno12 Pro is on ColorOS 14.1. And Samsung does provide a longer update commitment of up to 7 years, which is pretty crazy to think about. The Reno12 Pro promises 4 years of OS updates and 5 years of security patches, which also isn't bad at all. As for which software I think is better, I'd say it comes down to personal preference. Samsung's One UI is obviously the more feature-packed option here, If there's anything you want to tweak, you can most likely tweak it, and you'll never stop discovering features within its settings. ColorOS, on the other hand, also has a plethora of unique features that I find to be useful, and I think their OS looks a lot cleaner and more modern. Plus, with all the new AI features that have arrived within the Reno12 Pro, I'd say it so far has a foot ahead when just looking at that space. If you'd like a detailed rundown of each OS, I've done reviews for both, which I'll leave in the YouTube cards if you'd like to check them out. In the end, the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra and the OPPO Reno12 Pro are both fantastic smartphones. I've had very few complaints when using either of them. They each carry amazing looking designs, fantastic softwares, great battery life, and fast charging speeds, and they each have their advantages. The S24 Ultra stands out with its superior performance, build quality, display, S Pen capabilities, nighttime photography, and an extensive 7-year update commitment. It's the go-to choice for anyone who's seeking cutting-edge technology and isn't worried about the price. Nevertheless, the OPPO Reno12 Pro presents a fantastic option for those who want the best bang for your buck. Priced significantly lower, it impresses with a stylish design, solid camera performance, and a robust battery life coupled with faster charging speeds. Not to mention that it's got a ton of innovative AI features that I found to be really useful and are easily accessible within most popular third-party apps, and most of which Samsung doesn't include. And despite the sponsorship, I've given you my honest take here. Both phones have their unique strengths, and your choice depends on what you value more in a smartphone. Anyway, tap either of these videos to get a detailed review of each software that comes packed into these phones. Thanks for sticking to the end, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Kapow!